ora. I'm Tim Wood Morrison, I play Django Fett, and I'm following the nerd.
Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for. We got through all the news, and now we're going to do our review of 2013. But before we do, you've been a busy bunny today.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay.
This is a shambles.
I'm glad you said shambles, sir. I wasn't sure what was coming. This is a load of shambles.
You weren't sure what was going to... What, sorry?
Easy.
Yeah. No, it was supposed to be longer and there's supposed to be more stuff in. Easy. But, yeah, this is what we've ended up with.
This is Mark from FollowingTheNerd.com. We're here in Essen, Germany. And this is Star Wars Celebration Europe 2.
And you'll never see me coming.
I will find him!
Today marks a moment of truth and a bold step forward for PlayStation.
Hi, I'm Harley Quinn at the Dublin International Comic Expo, otherwise known as DICE. I'm looking for Mr. J. Have you seen him?
It's, timey-wimey thing.
Timey what? Timey-wimey?
I've no idea where he picks that stuff up.
That is the announcement at the Warner Brothers Legendary panel of a Batman Superman movie coming in 2015. That's right.
They didn't go with any of the popular name guesses like Xbox 720, Infinity, or even the Beretta. They opted instead to call it Xbox One.
I ever tell you about Trevor?
Now we just have to survive this blizzard!
That's no blizzard! That's my sister!
My name is Khan.
Please welcome the 12th Doctor, a hero for a whole new generation. It's... Peter Capaldi!
Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
I love it!
You like
That's
that?
so good. We don't need to do the next hour and a half of the show because it's all there.
Yep, that's what I spent like half an hour editing tonight.
Class. That is so good.
The slim time frame I had between visiting the hospital and coming here tonight.
That is so good.
You like that?
That is so good.
We'll play it again later, sure.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
We'll play it at the start of every single show.
We've got 13 minutes of actual conversation, but we're going to bump it out to an hour and a half because we're going to play the out of this.
Yeah.
Right.
You like it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was class. That was really good. Like that. I mean, everything's in there.
Yeah.
Everything's in there. So what okay. Basically, 2013 was a busy year. There's a lot of good stuff. There's some dodgy stuff, some great stuff, some stuff we don't want to talk about anymore, some stuff we're sick talking about. But there's a lot of good stuff in there. What we did was we put the call out to the people on the Facebook page. We'll talk about that later on. We put the call out to the guys that work on Following the Nerd. We wanted to know what things were really special to them over the course of the year. What was their favourite this, their favourite that. We're going to have some of them. We're going to have Andy and Stuart, FTN's own answer to Statler and Waldorf. They're going to be on soon. We're going to have Al, the ball gamer dude. He's going to be talking about the top games of the year. We're going to have him on later on as well. But you know what we asked a lot of people was, what moments made 2013 for you? You know, if I said to you, what was really cool, what was nerdy about 2013? What was it? And I put it out to the guys, and some of them came back with a load of stuff, some of them came back just with one moment. Gareth Watson, Gareth that does the works on our website, he was the guy that designed the website. He's going to be doing some more work for us now as the year. We're planning on redesigning the site later on this year. He asked for one thing and one thing only, and a special mention for Frozen.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful movie.
One of the best.
You've seen
Disney...
it now.
Yes, I
You've
have.
seen it now.
I took Nadine to see it for her birthday last week.
Yeah, and she loved it.
Amazing movie.
Isn't it so good?
Amazing movie. Even the songs are great.
Yeah.
Like with the wee girl at the start singing, "Do you want to build a snowman?" Unbelievable.
Yeah. So like, it's quite sad too. It's quite it's a beautiful song.
Visually, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The ice effects are remarkable. The comedy in it is superb. Yeah. Like the little snowman character, unreal.
The Snowman was great.
Snowman was fantastic, priceless.
Yeah.
And also, I love, like, see, ever since Enchanted came out a few years ago with Amy Adams, I can't watch traditional Disney movies anymore. And this one seems to be the first Disney movie since Enchanted came out to pick up on that. So obviously, in it, the sister meets a guy and instantly they're engaged to be wed. And you know, spoiler alert, he turns out to be not such a decent guy after all. And I think that's a great spin on the classic Disney yarn, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes the nice guy isn't the nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I loved it. I said this before. We've talked about it before. My whole family went to it. We all enjoyed it on different levels. It was so good. It was a lot of fun. Gareth actually went to see it with his wife, and they just sort of basically had babysitters. Like, let's go to the cinema. They got there. There was nothing that they both wanted to see, and they're like, you know what?
Frozen.
Let's go and see that Disney cartoon. And he said they just absolutely adored it, and it's so good. You know, it got into the top 10 biggest earners of the year. It's only been out 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's
because it was released in Thanksgiving in the UK.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah. So what's that? 6 weeks? 5, 6 weeks?
Yeah, it's 5-6 weeks. Yeah.
And it got into the top 10, and deservedly so. It's classic, traditional,
with a
but
spin.
very modern.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good.
And
actually,
it's finally, it's not one of those naughties, for lack of a better word, Disney movies where it's, let's throw in a load of references that'll be outdated in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those classic Disney type of movies that can stand for all time.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're spot on. I watched Tangled. Is it Tangled?
Yes, that's who made
the same
people who made Frozen, yeah.
Because I'd seen it before, and I watched it over Christmas again with my kids, and it's really, really good. It's really, really good, and you can see that they've laid the foundations with Tangled.
I've it taped. I still have yet to watch it.
Have you never seen it?
No, it was on ITV. I believe it was a few weeks ago.
You're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's not quite as good as Frozen, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely special mention for that. Jay Faulkner. Jay, of course, who comes on the show from time to time, and he writes a lot of stuff on the website about comics and books, and he's an accomplished writer himself and everything else. I asked him what made 2013 for you. His answer was simple: Doctor Who in the cinemas. Doctor Who in the cinema.
Which is fair enough, because
a lot of people said that.
Technically, the first time that Doctor Who's graced the big screen since Peter Cushing in Dalek's Invasion Earth 2150 AD, which was 64.
Was that early?
I believe, yeah.
Okay,
it was very early.
Yeah, I mean, this we've had the Day of the Doctor, we've had the Time of the Doctor, we've had the Night of the Doctor, we've had the Hour of the Doctor.
The Minute of the Doctor.
This was the Year of the Doctor. This was the Year of the Doctor. From the get-go. From this time last year, we were all talking about Doctor Who
50th
in the
anniversary.
cinema. In the cinema.
Yeah.
And did it hold up?
It did.
I really
think it did.
I thought it did.
I think it should have been longer.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, for what we got, I think it was amazing.
Yeah, I you know what, I watched it again actually because I bought my wife bought me the Blu-ray for Christmas, and it came with isn't it Ultraviolet you call it?
Yeah, the digital copy.
Yeah, and I put it on my iPad and I watched it. It was just on in the background while I was doing stuff, and I would stop every now and again and watch whole scenes. And you know, there's a lot of really good stuff in that.
There is.
There's a lot of good stuff.
I particularly love the first exchange between John Hurt and Billy Piper. I think that's an amazing scene, and I can't put my finger on why.
Okay, yeah. I know, yeah, it's just solid performances. And I love the bit where Tennant, you know, where John Hurt's doctor, the war doctor, he just says, "You were right, bad wolf girl," and Tennant just goes, "Sorry, did you say bad wolf?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and
then that's it.
That was it.
And he just leaves it.
Yeah, and that's all that was necessary. And of course, Tom Baker's cameo, which is still a little weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It wasn't very strong, was it?
No.
It was one of those ones where he looked like he was reading off auto cue cards that like an extra was just sort of holding underneath Matt Smith's chin. You know what I mean?
It made me kind of want to cry.
Yeah.
It kind of made me.
Specifically hate that he didn't have a strong exit, because he just sort of goes, "Who knows? Hey, who?" And he taps his nose.
Yeah.
Knows. And then he sort of looks down as though he's forgotten something, like he's left the kettle on.
Yeah.
And then he sort of saunters away with his walking stick in the background as Matt Smith's like going, "Ooh, Gallifrey" and stuff. But you kind of watch that old man hobble away and go, that was Tom Baker. That was the Fourth Doctor. That was the guy with the wide eyes and the mad grin who would always offer you a jelly baby. You know what I mean?
That's how I felt when I saw the last Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, it was a big moment. It was a big moment, and it's one of those moments that, as a fan, you'll always remember. You know, just the whole experience. Will we see it again? Maybe. I think we'll. See
I
more
really
Doctor
think
Who.
we will.
I think we'll see more Doctor Who,
especially now with Capaldi in the room.
Yeah.
I really think we will.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think that was part of the plan. Let's see how this goes, and then give them more. And I think that's fair enough. And you know what? If they're all as good and as fun as that, maybe make them another 30 minutes longer. And I'll pay every couple of years to go and see that. I'll pay every couple of years to go and see that.
Do you think we should have or do you think this would be overkill? Do you think we should have a multi-Doctor storyline once every year, and that should be the movie?
Every year? No.
Not every year, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
every
sort
other
of
year.
2 or 3 years. Yeah.
And then that way you could always have Tennant coming back, you could always have Smith coming back, but
Yeah.
the main Doctor will always be that current Doctor who's in the role.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah.
It has to be the big stories. You know, it has to be stories that just... Yeah. I
But how
I
many
think that would
big
work.
universe-endy stories can you come up with, though? That's the thing. Because I like Doctor Who when it's personal, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like the Doctor to be trapped in an underground lair that's being infested by weeping angels or something, you know what I mean? Or, like, one of my all-time favourite classic era stories is Doctor Who and the Silurians, which is basically the Doctor stranded on Earth dealing with this Silurian sort of gang that have been awoken in 70s England, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a 4-part story, and it's amazing! And it's so racked with tension and drama, and there's one of the serials that ends with the companion whose name I completely forget. I'm terrible as a classic Whovian, but one of the serials ends with one of the Silurians advancing on one of the companions, and it's done in such a clever way because Silurians in the classic series had 3 eyes, and the camera was split into 3 different kind of viewpoints, and it was obviously the POV of the Silurian advancing on her, and then she turns around and screams, and you see her mouth screaming 3 times
Yeah, I remember
in the
that.
screen as
It's
it
kind of
ends.
like the old B-movies things that used to do a lot with like them and the ants
Yeah.
and giant spiders and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I love that, and I'd love to see Capaldi's take on that in a modern day Doctor Who. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be big spaceships and CGI madness every week.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it was the year of the Doctor, and I think for all that, let's quickly go off on a tangent very quickly. What did you think
Another
of
one?
the Doctor Who special, the Christmas episode?
Oh, well, you've seen my review.
Yeah.
Good, but rushed.
You know what? That was my big problem with it. The pace of it was breakneck, and not in a good way. No, there's stuff
And then-
missing there, kind of way.
and a sort of... Oh, the reason for that was because of that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you know, see all this, and I don't care how good prosthetics are, see all this Matt Smith as an old man. I don't want to see that.
Rubbish.
I don't want to see that.
Especially for his final episode.
Yeah, hey, that's
'Cause,
not
like,
the Doctor.
Yeah, and then you had the whole big thing where he regenerates, but he's still Matt Smith. And,
Yeah.
And
what is and you said this in your video now, is regeneration can wipe out entire fleets of Daleks. Why did they not just do that during the Time War?
Yeah.
Let's just you 6 regenerate and wipe them all
Yeah.
out. Yeah, okay. There was a lot of it that didn't make sense.
honestly, I was going to put this in the review, but I ran out of time, and I just thought, you know what, that'll be boring, I'll cut it out. But I thought, hey, I'll save it, and I'll do it in the following The Nerd Show.
The boring bit.
Yeah, but... Well, it'll be easier to explain now because I don't have to sit and cut bits of episodes together while I'm talking. But the way David Tennant regenerated was basically a Christmas special, which was like over an hour, and a New Year's Day special, which was over an hour. It was like 75 minutes long. And most of it involved him sitting around going, I'm going to die, I'm going to regenerate, yeah. You know what I mean? Which could have easily been taken care of in one episode. It should have just been one Christmas special where the Master showed up, bad stuff happened, and the Doctor regenerates, and that's it. Yeah. With Matt Smith's one, there's so much that had to be tied up. 2 episodes, please. One on New Year's Day, one on Christmas Day, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I mean, Legend Jerry, who writes for us, he made a comment that's I think he's probably right, is that there's a DVD or a Blu-ray release out there that's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, easily.
You know, and yes,
Or
I want to see that.
At the least, a script out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, like there was talk about this, and I reported on this as well. There's a big rumour going around that Matt Smith loses a leg in the episode.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you look at some of the scenes where he's an older man, and after the Weeping Angel bit, he is walking around with a wooden stick, with a cane.
Uh-huh.
And obviously what looks to be a false prosthetic leg. So that whole subplot was actually cut out of the episode itself.
Yeah.
So all that remains is the fact that Matt Smith uses a walking stick.
Yeah, because it was one of the angels that did it, and they hinted at that when the angel grabbed
Clara's leg
Clara at the start.
Yeah.
So there definitely was that. And you know, I watched it with my wife on Christmas Day and my wee boy as well. And for the first time ever, the 3 of us would watch episodes of Doctor Who quite often together. And for the first time ever, we were all pausing it at different times, going, "Hang on, what?
Yeah. So what happened there?
What was that?"
Yeah.
You know, and he shouldn't have to do that.
No, especially because, like, the whole... My biggest issue with Matt Smith's tenure, era, whatever, as the Doctor, is that it's one big overarching plot. You know what I mean? Like, stuff from the 11th Hour was referenced in his final episode, and... You know, and I don't really think Doctor Who should be like that. You know, I don't think it should leave plot, like, strands loose, because... I read a review where somebody said it was the equivalent of Stephen Moffat writing a script and going, right, well, that'll be an answer, that'll be answered someday. I'll pop that into the save that for later folder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just leave that there. And then it's got to the point where Matt Smith said, right, I'm stepping down. And it's like, really? Because we've just written The Day of the Doctor and we've one Christmas special left before you go? Really? And he's looked at his I'll save it for later folder, and it's just packed with stuff.
Yeah.